Hey guys, so I gave you a teaser last week that there was a project coming, and I'm going to show you what it is. No, not the work truck. There it is. So this is a unicorn truck. It's a 6BT Cummins with a stick shift. I've known this truck for a long while now. Belongs to a friend of mine's company. Now it belongs to me. But it sat a while. It was parked up because it had a bad turbo. The wastegate actuator actually rotted right off it. And then it got a pretty serious oil leak. And it's got a new vacuum pump in there, but from what I can tell it was either installed improperly or it was just bad out of the box. But the vacuum pump pours oil out of the bottom of it, I know that much. It hasn't run in forever, so we're going to have to get this one running. I'm not even going to start getting it running till we change that pump. I was smart enough to already pick a pump up for this truck. So first order of business today, I'm going to rip that one out and replace it real quick. I'm sure you saw the light come on, but I put the batteries on a tender. These are batteries that were just laying around, but they're one of 17, so it gives you an idea how long it's been sitting. But yeah, let me start doing this pump. It's not going to be a lot of great angles. I'll get some pictures from underneath, give you some ideas, but this is going to be more of one of those I fly through it and you get to see the benefit of it. But let's get started. Now here's a great angle to give you an idea. I know there's not a ton of light, but there's the pump from underneath. And what we have here is we have two bolts hold it to the engine, one here and one above, one oil feed here, one vacuum line up there, and then 3 bolts that hold the steering pump on. That's the whole thing. So I'm going to start doing this fun project, and you'll get to see it when it's finished, and then we'll do the next thing, trying to get it running. Alright, so I'm out from under the truck. You didn't miss much. That was fun to see. I can give you a great idea of what's going on now. So this one's the brand new one, spotless. There's the seal that goes bad on all these pumps. It's just a little press and seal. You got to take this whole thing apart to change it. I've changed bunches of them, but these aren't very expensive these days. When these were new trucks, we had to change those seals a lot because this whole pump was like $700. Now these pumps run about, I don't know, like about 170 bucks. Here's the one that was leaking, and you can see all the oil that was pouring out of that thing. It was just pouring right out there. We got to steal the oil fitting off this one and the little air hose they have here for the vacuum, for the brake, for the front axle. And then I was off. There's 4 studs. It's been a while since I've done one. There's 4 studs holding the steering pump to the back of this, and then there's 2 bolts holding this directly to the engine, and there is a gasket that goes between the engine and this pump. Now, some things I've noticed right off the bat. First off, whoever installed this left the little rubber cap on, so it wasn't done right. Whoever did this probably just didn't know what they were doing or never did one. And the big problem with these is there's a finger like this on the steering pump. There's also the matching finger in here, and then there's a plate, and I'm going to try to clock this so you can see it, but the plate lines up with the fingers, and then the other fingers have to slip into the other side. So putting this in the truck without the pump out is kind of a pain. What I like to do is I like to make it when the pump's attached to the engine so those fingers are straight up and down, and then I know the steering pump has to be left to right. So I'm going to try to do that right now. I've done a few, and Once I have that back in place, I will bring you back again, and I'll tell you if I had any problems in the meantime. But this isn't my first one, so it's no surprise to me what I'm doing, and it should be straightforward after how many I've done. So I'll bring you back in a minute. Well, there's about a 6% chance of this starting, but there is a 100% chance of testing it for a leak if I crank it. So we're going to crank this thing over and see what it does. First, let's just stick it and check it. Overflow. Dirty oil. No fuel. No water. Now we crank it. We'll see what happens. Amazing that started. Usually you'll have to prime the system and everything. I luckily didn't have to. I think that's just residual.